Welcome back to Planet Doug on Penang. I'm walking right by the Comtar Tower again. It's kind of in my neighborhood, but I'm here not for the tower, but for what's underneath the tower, the bus exchange. Because I'm taking my nemesis, a bus, to a place called Queensbay Mall. And I'm going there to book my bus ticket back to Kuala Lumpur. It's one of those mornings, or one of those days, where I'm combining an errand with being a tourist. Because Queensbay Mall is right on the waterfront, and there's also something called the Queens waterfront there as well. And I really wanted to ride my Brompton there, my borrowed Brompton folding bicycle. My plan was to ride it there and make a little bit of an adventure out of it. But I scanned the roads on Google Maps. There's just no way, not a chance. It's all highways, busy interchanges, because the coast goes right by the two major bridges that connect Penang Island with the mainland. And there's like giant clover leaves of highway systems at each bridge. And all the roads are car-oriented roads, like high-speed roads for people, people going places in their cars. And there's no room there for a lowly cyclist like me. So it's just, I looked and I looked, but I saw no reasonable way of getting from here to there by bicycle. So, it's a bus for me. And I figured out that bus 304 will take me to Queensbay Mall. I called buses my nemesis. Buses and I generally don't get along, but they are a good way to get around Penang, to be honest. Once you figure it out, once you get organized, like here is very important where I am now, the bus exchange at Comtar Tower. All the buses I might be interested in, they all seem to come here. And there's another bus terminal down by the docks, by the ferry terminal, and that's the other central spot to go. So I'm looking for bus 304, and when I was looking on Google Maps, scared away the pigeons, it looked like 304 went down McAllister Road near my Airbnb, stopping at a Nasi Kandar restaurant right there. But I couldn't find anything that looked like a bus stop. And I didn't want to stand there at the side of the road for an hour waiting for a bus that may or may not show up. And I figured rather than waiting there and being unsure of what's going on, I would just come here. Oh, that's 204. $11, $12, $306, $206, $502, $302, $303, and here we are. Here are the 300s. Terminal 4, 304, Bukit Gedung. I guess it's destination, and it tells me it's waiting at the starting hub. Yeah, the bus ride to get to Queensbay Mall will be about 45 minutes, something like that. I think they've had more than their share of lost foreigners like me wandering around, and they eventually started putting up signs like this, which I really appreciate. A very cheerful, "You are here," with an exclamation point. I'm at the Comtar bus terminal. My sign has been updated. My bus has left. 21 minutes to get here. So I have 21 minutes until the bus gets here. Thought I'd just go for a walk around the bus exchange. Yeah, there seem to be quite a few older men that, they're living on the streets, and this is sort of their base. They spend the nights here. Pretty comfortable in a way, if you can put up with the noise and maybe the bus exhaust, because even though it's exposed to the outside, it's somewhat air conditioned. I can feel cold air blowing down on me from time to time. So it's actually pretty comfortable in here. But it's the sort of place, I think, where you can hang out for a while and sleep here at night, and nobody's going to give you a real hard time about it. As long as you're... Like, I think someone here has set up an entire home. You know, these are all his possessions, and there's a kitten. Yeah, happy to see that. Yeah, this cat looks to be in fairly good health. Yeah, he's got a lot of suitcases. And this looks like another sort of encampment here. Someone has all their belongings, sleeping bag and food and clothing in bags hanging there to claim his spot. I'm not sure if I've mentioned it on this video or not, but when I was making my plans, I was trying to decide between taking like a luxury bus. This Aeroline bus is a luxury bus line. Hello, how are you? Or a budget bus. There's a lot of them that leave from Comtar. There must be another bus station around here somewhere where city buses come, because I saw these. There's a whole range of them that like cheaper buses that go to Kuala Lumpur, and they all said they started from Comtar, this area. And they're probably half the price of Aeroline, but I kind of want the Aeroline experience. So many people on YouTube actually take that bus and make a video about it. So for me, it's almost like a tourist attraction now. I want to see what all the hubbub is about. Plus, I realized that this weekend is a major national holiday. It is the Prophet Muhammad's birthday celebrations on Saturday and Sunday, the 9th and the 10th. So, bus station food. Yeah, I guess if you're getting on a bus for a long trip, you want to stock up on things to eat or have a meal here. Yeah, I was thinking that a lot of people will be traveling this weekend, and then perhaps on Tuesday there will be a rush of people going home again. So I thought maybe the highways would be busy, maybe all the buses would be packed out and crowded, and I thought, well, let's go for Aeroline. See if I can book a seat on Aeroline. So that's what I'm going to do. This food looks good. I love places like this where you can just see all the food and pick what you want. Just keeps ordering simple. See how the bus is doing. 11 minutes till it gets here. There's a sudden rush of buses. 301 just arrived. A lot of people getting on 301, and right behind it, 304, my bus. So let's see where he stops and how much it costs. You have to tell the driver where you're going, and then he will tell you what the fare is. Maybe, well, you can use, the cards too, but I don't have one of those, so. I like to let local people go ahead of me. They know what they're doing. To Queensbay Mall. How much is it? 2 ringgit? Okay. Thank you. Two or three trips on buses in Georgetown, and I am the master. I've got it all figured out. I have it dialed in how you get around by bus. Yeah, it doesn't hang around, just like a regular bus stop. It's not like it stops here and then waits for 10 minutes because it's a major station. It treats it like a regular bus stop. So, see how long trip takes. 11:05 right now. And we'll get there by noon or something like that. But I'll get to see a whole new area of Georgetown. I'm very interested in the Queens waterfront area because when I first saw it on the map, I was quite excited. I thought if I could bring the bicycle there, it'd be a great area to ride around, like water shore parks and beautiful scenery. But then when I zoomed down on Google Maps satellite view, it looked like it's just like major development there. Luxury condominiums and complexes, and it's just not a place for cycling. It's meant for cars again. So I don't know, even if I was there on a bicycle, could you ride around there or not? I may not even be able to walk around that area easily, but I'll take a look at it anyway. The bus is moving a lot faster than I expected. We're almost at Queensbay Mall already. It's been less than half an hour. The water and the first bridge is off to my left somewhere. I was hoping I'd get a look at the bridge, but couldn't see it from this bus. But on this ride, the bus kind of went inland a little bit and did a loop and then down again to the water. Look at the size of those buildings over there. Those are all, huge apartment buildings facing the water. But on this bus ride, it kind of reinforced what I was saying about Penang before, or more about my impressions of Penang, because you instinctively think of it, you equate Penang with the World Heritage Site. So you think it's a very small, quaint city. But then you take a bus, like a normal city bus like 304, which leaves the heritage area and just goes off into normal Penang. And then you very quickly realize how big this place is. I mean, it is a city, big city. It goes off in all directions. And the World Heritage Site, which I think of as Penang, as Georgetown, is just a small piece of this whole thing. Just a little, tourist enclave, really. This is kind of funny, or a coincidence. I'm taking this bus 304 to book a ticket on the Aero Line bus to Kuala Lumpur, and just before we got to Queensbay Mall, we stopped at the bus terminal. So this is an actual long distance bus terminal, and all the other like competing budget companies. There's one over there, Billion Stars Express. So that's my other option for taking a bus to Kuala Lumpur, the Billion Stars Express. And this bus stops right at that exact same bus terminal. Maybe that's an omen. I should be on the Billion Stars instead. We'll see. I'll go see what Aeroline has to say about which bus I should take. We're passing by Aeroline right now. The convenient way to fly. And this is the Queensbay Mall complex. I imagine I'll go for a stroll through the mall after I check out the bus line. Oh man. Temperature changes in Malaysia. My gosh. That bus was one of those refrigerated buses. I'm suffering from like brain freeze. I feel like I've had my head inside a freezer for an hour. Or I've eaten a tub of ice cream too fast. Yeah, total brain freeze. My knees are frozen. Like, I was wondering whether they'd be able to bend after I got up off the bus. And then you step off the bus. Whoa. And in case you didn't know, this the international airport is out in this part of Penang Island. Man, look at that luxury place over there. Q1, Q2, Ideal Gym Queens Residences, or GM. Ideal GM Queens residences. I'll bet you there's some infinity swimming pools up at the top there, maybe. I don't know. But if you didn't know you were near the airport, now you know. But yeah, you step off that bus into this sun, and that warm air just flows over you. And for about 2 minutes, you're like, oh, that feels so good. And then, of course, after more than 2 minutes, you're yearning for the air-conditioned bus again. A land of extremes. Now I'm curious about their slogan, the convenient way to fly. Because I thought it was a bus company. But I guess they do more than that. I guess you can book tickets on all kinds of things. The deed is done. For better or worse, I'm going to Kuala Lumpur by aeroline. There's good and bad things about that. To be honest, I just wanted the aeroline experience because I've seen so many videos about it. And it's a 60 ringgit. And I think, you know, the Billion Stars Express would be something like 35 ringgit. But I guess on the aeroline, you get food served at your seat. Who knows? We'll find out what the experience is like. I mean, the one downside for me, and to be honest, it is a big downside, and in a way, it doesn't make a lot of sense to take this bus. I have to come all the way out here to get the bus, and I'm staying in like near Comtar Tower, so before I can even get on the bus, I have to get out here. So I'll probably just take a grab, something like that, out here. So I have to take a grab to get on the bus. But just for the experience, that's okay. And now I can see what the mall is like. So they have a couple of places here of interest to me. There's a Sony store, something called the Tech Empire, and then another camera store. Heading up to the third floor first, because that's where Tech Empire is. Might be something similar to Thunder Match. It took a while, but I tracked it down. Tech Empire over here on my left, just up ahead. Small shop, but looks like they jammed in a lot of stuff. So let's see what they have. And they have a sign here, Insta360. Oh, this is, yeah, the new one, the X3. The basic bundle. Hello. Just looking at your sign for the X3.
Yes.
Because I have the X2. And I know the X3 came out.
A bigger screen display.
Yeah, bigger screen, and has a lot of features that I like.
Yes, include many video functions.
Right.
Mode, yes, different.
And this is a very popular unit these days. The DJI wireless mic set comes in a little charging case, which is kind of nice. With this camera, of course, designed to use the road. You know.
This is you buy the single channel or dual?
Single.
Single, you buy the single channel.
Yeah, I bought it when I bought it. It was the very first one.
Oh, the first one.
The dual didn't exist yet.
Okay.
So you couldn't buy it. So it was like I've had this for maybe 2.5 or 3 years. I'd like to get the new one with the two transmitters.
Yeah, two transmitter, yes.
Yeah.
One you can put on here, another one you can put on here.
Well, I mean, this is the receiver.
No, another one if different people.
A different person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take the
So
cam.
the receiver here, but if I'm talking to you, I can put a microphone on you, and we both have a microphone. I like that idea, but I have to wait till this one breaks. Otherwise, why buy a new one? You know, I have one already. But yeah, like I said, a small shop, but they've packed some stuff in. This is great. A lot of DJI Pocket 2, Action 2, DJI like gimbals, and so they still have an X2 and an X3. Wonder what the price difference is between them. So the X2 is like 1,900, the X3 2,200. So yeah, so 300 ringgit more to get the X3, which anyone buying a new Insta360, one of the X series now, you would automatically get the X3, I think. There's really not much point to getting the X2, I don't think. Look at this. They even have Ulanzi cases. The G9 IV. I was just writing a YouTube comment about the G9 IV because a YouTuber bought the GoPro Media Mod and he was having all the same issues with it that I had. And I wrote to him saying that this would solve a lot of his problems. But you have to use that with a mic adapter. Okay, and they have a Teleson battery charger for the GoPro series. Yeah, and I haven't seen these for sale anywhere. These are the Akaso action cameras, Akaso Brave. From what I've seen online, I mean, the image quality is not as good as you get from a GoPro, but the price is much more affordable. So it's a good way to get started in action cam. Yeah, huge difference really. This is the Hero 9 Black for 1900, and then some of these Akasos, 700, 600, 12. So there's a big price difference from a GoPro to the Akasa. Man, they've got it all here. Look at that. They've even got the Saramonic microphones, and then the Rode Wireless Go 2, which I would love to get. And of course the DJI Kamika. What's down here? Boya microphones, lavalier mics. Oh, look at that. They even sell the drones here. The Minis, the Mini 2. They have the DJI Mini 3 Pro. The Air. Nice camera store. Tech Empire. Small place, as I said, but they've jammed their shelves with not only a wide range of cameras and microphones, but a lot of accessories too. And those are accessories you normally don't see inside a store. You normally would have to buy them online from Lazada or something like that. I'm not going to give a play-by-play account of my entire lunch here. I just went for something quite simple. There's a place over there called Clay Pot and Sizzling. And I went for something simple, sizzling rice with chopped chicken and a original sauce, whatever the original sauce is. And that's my meal that I ended up with right there. Doesn't look quite as good as it did on the menu photograph, but I'm sure I will enjoy it. Anyway, I'm not going to talk through the meal. I'm just going to dive in and enjoy it. I'm still up on the 3rd floor of the Queensbay Mall. Queen Street, life and style on the 3rd floor. This is where that tech store was, the camera store, and all the food court where I just had my snack for lunch. And before I leave this area, I want to go down and check out the waterfront. And I was looking at Google Maps, and there is a bike lane marked there. So I'm going to walk towards the bike lane, see how that works out, because a lot of that area seems like it is not going to be a great place to walk around. A lot of large construction, large buildings and things like that. So I don't know whether the area right beside this mall, you can go walking there or not. I'm finding my way, but oddly enough, even as a pedestrian, just getting from the mall, I can't see it, the mall is behind me, but getting from there to the bike path there's no actual way to walk there. I know I keep talking about that, but I just find it interesting that Kuala Lumpur and Penang both just sort of essentially evolved naturally without any place or with few places for people to walk or ride a bike. It's just sort of like an oversight in the whole system. It's kind of weird. I don't even know how you would design a place and then sort of end up with a design that doesn't allow anyone to walk. It's unusual. But look at this. Oh, nice, nice, nice. That's the bike path over to my right, and I'm walking right down by the water. And those are the Queens residences over there. Queens waterfront. Queens waterfront. And some kind of a, looks like a vehicle ferry. Pulau Remo. I wonder how it ended up there. Stuck on the bottom. Oh, this feels nice. Nice fresh wind blowing in off the water. And in front of me you can see the bridge. I'm not sure what the name of that one is, but I think that is the long one. So that would be the longest bridge in Malaysia. And the island off to my left is called, I believe, Jerajak Island, something like that. Oh. Oh, this is nice. Nice surprise. I wasn't expecting this at all. Yeah, there's the other bridge off to my left. I think that's called the Penang Bridge. A toll bridge. I was wondering whether it was possible to ride a bike across one of those bridges. I thought one day I could make a little project out of riding a bike across the bridges. But then I looked at the highway structure to get to these bridges, and it's pretty clear that wasn't going to happen. Yeah, I'm not even sure if bicycles would be allowed on either one of these bridges. Somehow I think not. I've been walking along the shore here at the Queens waterfront at Queensbay. Really nice. I'm feeling refreshed, you know, I'm feeling energized. Penang is an island and there's lots of coastal areas, but you do feel like you're far from the coast in a way. You're in the middle of a very large city. So it's a real pleasure to stumble across a place like this. I had no idea this was here. Complete surprise. This actually reminds me of my hometown in Canada. Feels like I'm standing beside the St. Clair River because we have rocks like these all along the river as well. Yeah. And with Jerajak Island out there, again, it kind of feels like a river going by, but this, of course, is the main strait leading out to the ocean. But I came across something even more interesting. It might be, I don't know, the only one in the world. Whoa, another plane. I've seen a plane about that size landing maybe every 5 minutes, something like that. But that's not the one and only thing in the world. There are a lot of planes. But look at this structure here. I was staring at that thing for a couple of minutes. I thought it was a parking garage. I had no idea what it was, but that's actually purposely built as a spiral bicycle bridge to get cyclists across the highway, and pedestrians, of course. But on the map they call it a spiral cyclist bridge. So I'm gonna walk over that, of course. I can't resist. But before I do that, check out this sign over here. I haven't translated it yet, but I'm pretty sure dilarang is a negative word, like don't do this. So I think it's telling motorcycles, don't honk at the cyclists or pedestrians. You know, don't, you know, I guess maybe motorcycles aren't even allowed here. Maybe that's okay. Maybe it's only for bicycles, and it says motorcycles are not allowed. At first I thought it was saying that if you're riding your motorbike down here, just, you know, don't honk at everybody else as you go, you know. But anyway, look at this. I guess maybe there's spirals like this around the world, but I've never seen one before. That is a mega structure as far as cycling is concerned. A cyclist spiral. And its only purpose is to allow cyclists to get up to a height high enough to go across the bridge, to get across the highway. I mean, literally, that demonstrates the style of construction in Malaysia, just how difficult it is to get past all these highway systems. They had to build something this big just to get across this one highway. Look at that. I mean, it's so huge. You'd think it was for cars, right? A car could even make it up here. It'd have to be a relatively small one with a tight turning radius, but a car could do it. Look at that. Oh, the things you stumble across when you're out wandering around. I'm at the top of the spiral bicycle bridge at Queensbay. Beautiful view up here, Malaysia's longest bridge over there. And I was just looking at Google Maps, and on the other side of the bridge, that's where you'll find the World War II Museum. And I have plans to go there on Sunday after breakfast. Hey, you get nice views in all directions. Over there, looks like that's kind of a parking lot area or something, but right now it's filled with tents. Looks like it's some sort of a night market. Those would all be food stalls, probably open up at night. And they weren't just satisfied with building the spiral and the bridge. They also put a roof on top of it and built this little courtyard. I was thinking about putting my folding bike onto the bus, because you can do that here. You can actually, maybe, I don't know if you can do it on all the buses, but one bus I took, I had a sign on it of a folding bicycle, and the guy said, yeah, you can bring it on, and there's no charge. So you could take your folding bike all the way out here and then ride up and down the bike lane and then go back on the bus again. This reminds me, the very first time I came to Malaysia, I arrived at the airport at Clea, and I had my bicycle with me, my whole touring bike rig. And my plan was to put it together at the airport and then ride into Kuala Lumpur. But at that time, of course, I had no idea what Malaysia was like. And at that time, I didn't have a smartphone. I didn't know about Google Maps and satellite tracking. All I had was a paper map. So it was really hard to navigate. And I ended up riding my bicycle all the way from the international airport to downtown Kuala Lumpur on a highway exactly like this one. It was the only way I could figure out how to get into town. And of course, it was completely illegal. No bicycle would be allowed on a highway like this. But it was the only road available to me that I could find, so I had no choice. And my experience of cycling in Malaysia's kind of followed that pattern. Intel, big Intel office over there. And that brings me to the end of today's small adventures, or at least this afternoon's small adventures. I've walked along the shore. Yeah, it's nice, very nice here along that rocky shore from the spiral bicycle bridge. That was quite a surprise. I never expected to see anything like that out here. Nor did I expect to be able to see both of Penang's bridges at the same time, and this boat, Pulau Rimau. Poor thing. Resting on the bottom. So from here, taking a bus back to my Airbnb, and I'm going to rest up for a little bit, cool down for a little bit, and then I'm meeting a friend for dinner. So a pretty full day here on Planet Doug. All right. Oh, nice day too. In terms of the weather, could not ask for nicer weather for a little excursion like this. So from here at Queensbay, I'll say goodbye, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.